for Geltek, right? They have the Atlas and the Terizla, so if their combo goes through as planned, it would be very great. But another unorthodox pick hits after the Leslie here for Geekay, as we do see now the Kufra being picked up as well. I don't know how much of a great time this Leslie is going to have. Leslie needs to go Purify, but she also needs Flicker, and now they're forcing her into a really uncomfortable spot.
All right, well, it's time to get our game number 1 started. There's been a lot of setup. Now it's time for action. It's Geltek Cyber Team versus Geekay eSports. Casters, take it away.
Welcome to the Land of Dawn, folks. Thank you so much to the studio. After analyzing all of that, the drafts are in, and we have another Baksha game.
It really depends on who you place it with. But right now, I really like how Geekay placed a Valentina and as well as a Leslie on their gold lane, partnering it up with a Baksha jungle.
And it's a crazy greedy choice. Hey, to mention it, you kind of have to go for the Purify. There's so many layers of CC that you got to deal with. Nefiria will go the different route though. It's a Flicker on Nefiria. It's also lethal ignition and the weapon mastery. So all in on that greed. If she wins out of this lane, it'll be great. If she doesn't, yeah, that's it's going to be problematic for sure. Kyoe, very interesting pathing. Goes from the lizard straight into the gold crab, and now she goes onto the purple buff. I actually really like that. And honestly, if you're just looking at the draft, Geltek got a really good draft. Coach Osprey, I've rated him for quite a while now, and I'm very happy to see just a bit of Verso, even though we get to see him this tournament.
It's definitely refreshing to think that they've managed to get a Valier out of Geekay here against Geekay eSports, which is quite perfect in my opinion. And now we see some action happening here. And we see Flickers already exhausted here for Geekay and the others. Neil, for Geekay, they're just not yet ready to get into any skirmishes so far, because as we've mentioned, they will be having a hard time. A wild composition, but let's see how will they work this thing out here for game 1.
I mean, speaking of just pilots, you know, in general, you said Baksha, utility jungle, depends on the pilot. I think it's the same for the Claude. It's almost like a hero that just has no counters if the right player is using it. Tokyo, so far, doing a good job. Going for the gold crab, actually takes it away from Nefiria as well, and that's what I'm saying. All comes down to
how you play it.
How you play it, how good you are. Good immobilization. Great start here as they get tempo, and they go straight onto the neutral objective. Kuejo straight down below as well. Liuban already level 4.
Oh, very nice zone out here for Kuejo. And as well as placing out the frigid bread as early as possible. Eliza with the jump. Geekay will be able to back away. There's going to be steering turns here. Get a first blood here is Yui. Meanwhile, Geekay with a trade-off of double for 1. Geltek getting most of the advantages here, and Eliza, even though that was a great entry point, just didn't have enough respo to make the most out of it.
There you go. Just a really good start for Geltek. So far, it's just a turtle take. They were first onto it. It's all about tempo and building up, set up before the neutral objective. Meanwhile, for Geekay, I really feel like they should try to rotate onto Nefiria instead of going for those neutral objectives. They have pretty good rotation speeds. Tokyo this time won't be too fortunate to actually steal that away. Nefiria will be the one getting it. It really feels like, especially after that initial setup for Geltek, it should have just been Geekay looking for a trade up top, especially considering they got a winning lane for Nefiria against Tokyo.
Yep, Brigida has already mentioned they actually tried the Claude onto a Leslie, but now they're onto A5U. Kyoe is just going wild, and I think the meta fits her best, because it's one of her specialty when it comes to assassin type of things, and the mechanics just fits perfectly when it comes to a Hirara under her hands. And now they go easy on the initiations. That's a quite an Nefiria is the next target. Now they see the frigid bread. The flicker already baited out of her, and I think that is very crucial here for Geekay eSports.
This is the gold crab secure, actually taken away by Geekay. Over in mid. Good rotations across the board. The flicker burnt out means that if they do get prio over this lane, they can just rotate over again, and it's going to be a free kill. Especially with the Hirara rotating over. Kyoe already utilizing the expanding rivers. The shield unity used up by Geekay. Electa using it maybe a bit too early as they go for the rotation up top of Tokyo. is very aware of what's happening. Again, it really just seems like Geltek will be the ones holding it.
They're making things easier here for Tokyo, so they don't really think it's much of a threat here for Neferia. As long as they get the flicker out of her, things are looking good. Now for GK, they're trying to force out some kind of vision, and it's still Neferia! They come back to Leobon with the last hit. They go in with a Fatal Links. A4U or A5U going down immediately. All of that before an objective take here, and Kiowe will most likely get this free turtle on their hands. Now GK, they can't do nothing but stare back. Easy turtle hit for Geltek.
Uh-oh, Kuejo with a dive again. Perfect match coming down.
What a combo here.
Still has Purify. Kiowe walks up.
Okay, now she's just tower hugging. They just need to survive. But how can you survive if there's 5 members of Geltek in your face? And they're not stopping at all. Tokyo gets the kill. Geltek just putting in the guns and the farm enough here for their gold lane.
So well played. Kiowe leaves it to the rest of the team as well. In the bottom lane, the wave has already crashed down, so at least GK can get a turret traded back. Kiowe's got to be careful walking up to these bushes when there's no one around. Again, though, for Geltek, they get a kill, they get that team fight, they get the neutral objective, and then the turret as the cherry on top. So it's just that proactiveness that they have that has given them so much more of a lead. The classic EECA stuff, man. It's not just about micro, it's not about that team fight, it's all about setting up, getting the advantage through macro. And that's been the main problem for GK. They've gotten winning lanes here and there, but they just haven't been able to utilize it to really maximize those winning lanes.
And for Geltek, they're just making the most out of it. There's like in-your-face type of composition, but as well as the discipline is there. Really great Sonjik move here. With a follow-up as well, Electa just rolls around the map. Kiowe just getting the most out of it, farming as much as he can before another objective take. GK on the other hand, we just saw Falling Star Moon out of Alyssa. Just one girl here, and the rest of Geltek, they're just really relaxed when it comes to like finding the right targets, but if it doesn't work, they don't force it out of GK.
Tokyo's doing such a good job playing that weak side. Now he's becoming the strong side of the map, just everybody rotating towards her as Kiowe is the one sent to clear Asa.
Oh, now they get Kiowe! With a follow-up Fatal Links as well here for Yue. Kuejo trying to run away, Frigid Red. Flicker is already exhausted as well. Now we see a big play here for GK Esports, and now they finally get their hands onto a neutral objective, the last turtle for game number 1.
Solid stuff. Finally, signs of life for GK. Finally, they're able to catch Kiowe here, and it seems like Asu wants to go for more. Up top with a flicker as well onto Liuban. I don't even know if they had the resources to kill her. Even if that Tyrant's Revenge landed, Kuejo knows the flicker is down, but doesn't have the Fatal Links. It'll just be now a slower game. Tokyo, everything given over to her. It's all about her being the main carry now as we move into the mid game. Tokyo with the Golden Staff, Neferia a bit behind. Kiowe goes for the War Axe here, right after the Hunter Strike. A bit more of a safe approach. No Sky Piercers for the Hirara so far in MWI. And it's the rush for Electa onto Radiant Armor, which is quite interesting. I understand, you know, Sonjik has been a big threat, but Tokyo and Kiowe, I thought, were going to be the main ones that you have to deal with as a frontliner.
I think that is somewhat a tunnel vision here for Electa to just solely focus to the defensive build, but now for GK Esports, maybe that's the plan. They go for the mental mind games. Alyssa forced out of her Purify, and now Geltek just focus fires onto taking down a turret here. Falling Star Moon just to clear the last bits of minion wave, but that backfires on your face. I think this should have just gone out and back away, given that it's already obvious that the turret will be taken down by Geltek. Now they go for the mirror move here onto the top lane. But for Geltek, they still have this in the bag. Advantages, most of it is on their side.
Yeah, Kiowe wants to get a bit more into the bottom lane. Asu's getting chunked.
Okay, Frigid Red. No can do. Electa just slowly rolls away.
And Kiowe deals with the wave in the bottom lane. That's a holy shield taken before the First Lord even spawns in the game, which means, hey, if Geltek gets the Lord, this could be a free base turret down below. Depends on how they siege it down, right? They have great zoning with the Terizla and the Atlas. Kowejo with a face check. Tokyo forced to back away with the BMI. It's all about mid-control right now. Alyssa's trying to form a slow push down below. KOH is farming again. Alyssa's got to be careful, though. Purified down for another 20 seconds. You don't know where Kowejo is. Liubon's going to handle the wave up top. And it's all up to Tokyo to utilize the expanding rivers. So for GK, they see the claw down below. Do they try to go for the Lord straight up?
I think they want to rush this one.
Alyssa.
Okay, now they see Kowejo with Alyssa going all in, frozen as well. But Kowejo caught off guard with a fatal legs in your face here for GK Esports. Will they get the trade? No can do. Alyssa falling down. A5U as well. Nefaria with a shutdown kill. They're trying to chase down Yui as well. Tokyo with the last hit of the bullet. That's 3 members down here for GK Esports. And right on time, Tokyo even manages to get 1 kill out of them.
GK are playing it well. They've gotten some great initiations. It's just they don't have enough damage. It really just seems like they're banking on Nefaria to slay these guys up front, and it's not working out. Everybody's going back and forth so well for the side of Geltek, and there's not much they could do about it. They're just going in back and forth. There's that untargetable skill from Kyoe as well. Tokyo's going back and forth with the BMI, and so many more initiations you gotta deal with those penalty zones, the fatal links coming around your way. I understand what the composition is meant to do right now, but it just seems like these back and forths and these angles that Geltek are using to initiate on GK, it's a bit too much for them to handle.
Exactly, because for GK, they weren't able to actually use their own crowd immunes here. But instead, it's them using it just to escape from the wrath here of Geltek. You have plenty crowd controls here. You have the Falling Star Moon. You also have a very nice transition with the Titanous Rage, Titanous Revenge for A5U, but that isn't happening. Because the moment they're seen on the map, Geltek just goes assassin mode immediately. And now, Conceal play yet again. Lord onto their hands, slowly making their way here onto the bottom base turret. A5U with a jump. Now on the different angle, it would look like a great initiation, but no! Kowejo with a fatal lace gunning. 2 members here, Tokyo with a blazing red follow-up, and the rest of the gang just gives it their all. Very nice return and bursting fireballs here for Son GK. Geltek immediately, as you've mentioned, takes down the base turret 12 minutes into the game.
The objective conversion of Geltek, fantastic this time around. 12-3, but it's how they actually managed to get leads across the board. We get to see the replay again with the Holy Shield down earlier, set up by Kyoe. They can just brute force their way into this turret take, and what a play by Kowejo. Baits out the Purify. There's another fatal links coming around by the IMU of Yui, but it's just not enough to deal with him. And again, we see the same problem for Nefaria. She's doing damage. She has some of the items ready, but it's single target. These guys, these women from GCT, they're able to go back and forth so well that that single target just does nothing in these team fights.
And for Geltek, they just have to like juggle around on who will get the first bullets from Nefaria, and that's it. And then another one comes in like Liubon, and the rest for GK Esports can do nothing about it. This is the thing about being too tunnel vision. Linear damage as well is a problem here for GK Esports. The item build earlier as well was a bit of a question here for Alecta. But now we finally see an Antikythera onto her arsenals. And for GK Esports, they just need to hold on. But for Geltek, we see Kowejo as well. Landing another fatal links onto A5U. Alecta on their front line with a shield unity. Their sun's activated as well. But look at Liubon and Kyoe as well, ensuring those bullets and the fans hitting her in the face. Alyssa trying to run away. Basic and for Tokyo will be enough. A mega kill. 3-for-1 trade of Geltek. Still good advantage.
It's really just a battle front to back. That was a very questionable initiation that worked out anyways. It was an all-in over onto a roamer. Asu. The rest of the team followed it through though, and they were able to get it done. Again for GK, Nefaria's been free hitting. She's just safe in the back, hitting, getting all these shots. It's the reason Liubon actually fell. So damage is there. Items are ready. It's just now, how do you get past your front line getting bursted down before you can actually burst some of the other front lines? And the fact that they just have so many ways to get away. Look, again, Nefaria free hitting this entire fight, but not able to shred these frontliners down as fast as Geltek. they were the ones going at it. Look, right, Kyoe gets away just in time. Tokyo walks up, and by the time Neferia walks up, they're already gone.
Okay, for Geekay Esports, we understand that they more on the dive type of composition. But what's a great mage to deal with those kinds of in-your-face jumps? Sonjika's Valier. She just pushes them away from the targets, and then the bursting fireball. Man, that's so wild. So Geekay on the other hand, and now...
Oh, Defiant Glaive and the winner crown.
Oh my gosh, now they're getting ready for the final battle. Okay, there's a Kuejo yet again. No fatal links connecting onto anyone. Now there's their time to punish them. There's bursting fireballs here in turn all over the place. And Neferia with a single bullet shots here will deal a little bit amount of damage, enough to shoo away Geltek here in the process.
That's the thing. Neferia starting to really hurt. Damage dealt ranking #1 in the game. Those free hits, those small wins have been paying a lot of dividends to the team right now. Geekay, they formulated this composition to play for the hyper carry in Neferia, and so far, it hasn't worked that well. But right as we got into that 15-minute mark, we finally get to see how much damage she can actually output with the right items now in her pockets. Great reaction by Neferia. It could have been a real bad situation as Kuejo went in with the fatal links, but again, brilliant reaction. Geekay are going to have to handle that. They're going to have to rely on Neferia constantly being able to flicker out of these engages from GCT. Because if Geltek get just one big penalty zone, followed up by a fatal links on Neferia, all of it goes down in shambles.
But that's the thing.
Kuejo.
It's kind of scary to put all your bags into one basket here for Neferia.
It is.
Because the flicker, that's too much of a CD. And for Geltek, they could just time it perfectly so that they will be able to jump in from the back here for Neferia. But that's the thing. Now, they just focus on to somehow make scarcity, make the jungling harder here for Geekay Esports. We're approaching the 17-minute mark, which is kind of good here for Geekay Esports because they're slowly building up their items that they need. Aside from just solely relying on the damage of Neferia, they have to be tanky enough to just go on the front lines, let Neferia go for the free hits. Now for Geltek, really need to be careful on who they will be targeting here. And when it comes to finding the right spots. And now the Lord available to be grabbed. A5U and Yui actually has a very nice position here. But Kuejo already having the frigid breath. Advanced thinking. They spot Neferia. Now they go, wow, then the Fatal Links connects. Now they know there's no more flicker here. Geekay slowly crumbles down. Kyoe with a chase. A5U on a hot spot as well. Kuejo with a double kill. Tokyo with an unstoppable kill. All those bullets targeting onto the faces of Geekay Esports. That's 4 women down. Now they have a single catapult minion wave here. They've tried to finish game number 1, and that is it. Geltek with a very dominant game win.
That's the gamble you play with when you go for the Leslie and the flicker. Eterna mentioned it in the studio. If you're a Leslie, it's a gamble to take flicker. It would have been a gamble to take Purify either way just because of the layers. And how many of you can just walk up to the Leslie?
Wave clear, if it comes down to hopefully not where they have to deal with a lot of waves, could potentially somehow get away with it, but it's not ideal. Things aren't looking ideal for Geekay Esports. How long has it been since we last saw a Faramis into a Valentina and them just really voluntarily doing this to themselves, right? It feels like they've just added so much more layers to how we are expecting a much more passive gameplay from Geekay rather than what they should be playing if they really want to take control of the game, because they're being limited in terms of their matchups already.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that Geltek last pick a Belleric.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a cherry on top, right? There's the composition entirely for Geekay is they need to dive in. They need to go in to these team fights. The Belleric is just the cherry on top, going to be able to really deny all those initiates, I would say, in these particular team fights. I think, once again, this could be a 2-0.
It could very well be a 2-0. However, can we see Geekay Esports fight back? Let's find out. Atheno, Marco, take it away.
That's a good question. Reflections. We're going to jump into the land of Dawn here to answer that question exactly. What do you think, Athena? Is it a 2-0 or do you think GK can do it? 1-1.
To be honest, in this composition, I think it's a 2-0, especially under the hands of KOA's Hayabusa.
Dang.
Remember, it's one of her specialty. But let's see, maybe the willpower of GK will be enough to kindly stretch this match onto game number 3.
Yeah, the only question I have is just like, is the box just still good is the question right now, right? We've been seeing it a lot so far. I think we've seen it like 2 times, right? One time it won, the other time it didn't. And Kyoe's just been having a blast on these assassins. Another signature pick here today. Lethal Ignition is the choice for Yui though, so not really just a full utility type of Faramis. It's all in for damage on top of it.
Speaking of damage as well with the Faramis, it just gives more value onto Sonjika's Valentina. Eterna has mentioned this, and give Geltek a really nice advantage too. But let's see. But now, we appreciate the effort of Liubon just spawning out here with the started dances as well. But A5U would have immediate first blood. Surprisingly, is Geekay eSports getting head-to-head this early onto Geltek.
It's a really good start for the game to Hylos, I guess, because it is Asu who actually gets the first kill of the game. It would have been great if it was someone else. This is the thing about Harith though. Nefira is really going to struggle this game. Last time she was put onto a winning matchup. This time, it's not so much a winning matchup level 1 to 3. Tokyo is going to have a blast in that lane, and on top of it,
definitely
with the winning matchup and a Hayabusa with a Valentina all around, it's going to get even tougher. On top of that, later in the team fights, Liubon's on Esmeralda just soaking in those shields.
She is going to have the time of her life with a Paquito and a Harith. Imagine all the team fights there on. And we see the true value as well of what Geltek has done here onto their composition. And right on cue, Turtle has respawned. There's Alecta, but I don't think their damage will be enough. Might be more on the clutch of play here for Alyssa. She needs to keep Kyoe at bay, and that is exactly her plan. Liubon goes in. Let's see. Kuejo, on the other hand, forced out of her revitalized Tokyo with a free hit onto Alyssa. Now they get rolling in with Tokyo Blazing Duet. Yui falling down immediately. Geltek goes in with a kill, plus a turtle as well. That's 2 birds with 1 stone immediately for Geltek. And Asu as well might fall down. Then Sojiki onto the front with the basic attacks, plus the sticker as well is enough to taunt them down. Non-stop MLBB action from minute 2. And Geltek had the most out of it. And part 2 yet again. Alyssa onto the tower, but still enough for now. That's Geltek yet again going in. Just when you thought it's over, it's not yet finished.
My goodness. Started off really good for GK, but what happened after that? They were looking for a brawl. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, Athena, it's the backfire of picking a Faramis into a Valentina. Sonjika was already level 4. Yui, not quite at that level, did not have the Netherrealm to play with. So at the end of the day, it was Geltek who got all the advantages that GK should have had coming into neutral objective 1. It's a sustain, it's just battling it out, and also a whiff on the flicker for Alyssa that gave way for the rest of the team to collapse on her. Now it's Asu caught in the Wrath of the Dryad.
And Asu can do nothing, even with the Glorious Pathway. That's what, almost 1/4 HP left for her. And for Geltek as well, we've mentioned that this is going to be a total massacre. Starting it off with the Esmeralda being prioed, and Sonjika with a prio pick of the Valentina as well. We see GK kind of struggling. They do have somewhat of a game plan here. Just let Neferia and Alyssa snowball, but that isn't happening because most likely for Geltek, that's the next course of action. Target and shut down Neferia as early as possible, and all they have to do is just wait for them to actually take the bait. And Tokyo, right now, might have a hard time, but all she needs to do is just clear off the wave, not really putting herself onto the line, and Sonjika onto the back. Now we see some kind of a sandwich method. Asu force out of her glorious pathway.
Alexa?
And Alexa will be saved with the nether here by Yui. But now they're left defenseless. GCT right now has the chance to totally tone her down. Even the Diamond Force, the Fury is forced to back away. Sonjika with a dash out. The Flicker has already been exhausted as well just to try and run away. Alyssa will catch Kiyowe onto the side, and Nefira did a great job as well, putting down core damage dealers here from Geltek.
Overextension, a mistake by Geltek, instant punish by GK. As they're looking to play it around again. This time Yui has another realm, right? That was the big difference from the first turtle, and you could see how much of a difference it actually played in that skirmish. GK was able to just prolong those team fights, play around Neferia and peel for her while all the frontliners took the damage. Alyssa, great flank, caught Kiyowe off guard as well, rotated quicker as she cleared in bot. Now for Geltek, I think you can actually add a bit of a question mark there. Coach Osprey, very detailed when it comes to just win conditions and playing around those objectives. Geltek could have just taken the free turtle for a dive on the weak side, but they instead tried to go for a fight. They wanted to save Tokyo up top, and it costed them a lot.
And that is why you have to stick to the plan. Be disciplined as well here for Geltek. That is too much time wasted actually onto chasing down members of GK. That's why they were able to maximize their sustain lineup. The free hits here for Neferia, and now Kiyowe still will secure the turtle. Plus now they slowly disengage. Neferia with his Diamond Force not able to really put a dent onto Leobon's shield as well. It's all about surviving first for GK. Plus I like what Alyssa is doing. Just pushing off the waves here against GCT, forcing up to their attack.
She's been doing what Keto hasn't been able to do in day one of MWI so far. Splitting the team up. Leobon!
Whoa! Okay, that's a forced copy. Another room here for Sonji K. Kuejo on the tight spot. Neferia will get you with a Diamond Force. Clutch there around, but Tokyo still gets in with it. They're lasing to it. Now Alyssa goes in with his punches. But now for GCT, they slowly retreat back. But Sonjik is still alive with Kiyowe dashing in through the members of GK. But that is two members immediately down here for Geltek. Sonjik with a clutch of Flicker just to escape on that impending danger from GK eSports. Now they target the mid lane turret. Geltek caught off guard there onto the jump from GK.
It's all about waiting for the Netherrealm and then the Zaman Force, right? Because as long as the Furia plays around as Zaman Force, as long as they have the Netherrealm, they're completely fine taking these fights head-on against Geltek. Again, Turtle 1, it was just GK not able to fully utilize their composition because it was a Yui that was still level 3 without the Netherrealm. After that, it's been smooth sailing every time they go for the 5v5, but now Alyssa gets caught in a 2v1.
Even the Triumph Dryad was committed onto her solely, and Alyssa will be able to dash away constantly. Tokyo running for his life, and Alyssa will do it. He won't go back down. He won't die onto the hands of GCT.
1 HP gets away from a 2v1, but unfortunately, it's still a loss at the end of the day. A tier 2 taken and nothing traded across the map. Tokyo gets it, just a bit delayed there. Alyssa wants to go for the chase. Needs to respect. Kuejo is waiting just around the bush, around the corner. Now with Sonjika baiting out the Zaman Force.
Okay.
Small window opens up and they're going to utilize this window. Straight they go into the Lord. 8 minutes in. This is the first Lord of the game. Kiyowe's already on it.
Okay, it's all about placing yourselves earlier on the vicinity of the Lord. Tokyo, focus fire onto the Lord.
Rapid try it.
Okay, now they change targets. Right connecting. Alecta with Yui as well with the Nether Realm. They're safe, but surprise onto Sanjike.
Tokyo.
Now they have to back away. Neferia going off the shutdown kill. And they go in. Kiyowe as well will get the immediate takedown, but Alyssa goes in with a trade. Oh, that's a very nice bowling star here for Liubon. Yui trying to run away. It's going to be the Ghostbusters here. Asu for the save, but it's Liubon onto 2 members. I think this might be it. That is going to be a kill here onto Liubon. Meanwhile, onto mid lane, it's Alecta slowly retreating back. It might have been messy, but I think GCT still got the most out of it.
GK's box was scattered by Geltek. They had so many angles to attack from Tokyo. Great discipline this time around, really learning from the mistakes of the last few skirmishes that didn't go their way. It's all about waiting for the Netherrealm and the Zaman Force, forcing them into these really weird situations where they just can't utilize their resources together. Once they're scattered, it was just GCT pulling off the Blazing Duet, getting those damage. Oh, the poke over on Yui.
Too much. either way, for Geltek, all they need to do is just wait for either Zone Force or Netherrealm, as you mentioned. And all they have to do is just wait for the perfect timing, wait for the perfect person to show up on the mat. Wrath of Dryad here for Guejo. Even the Revitalize has been activated. Netherrealm's clutch here for Sonjike. The suppress is enough here for Electa as well. And they go in, Neferia with a free hits with the Zaman Force, but the jump from Leowon will stop them on their tracks. Tokyo with a blazing do with chase down onto Neferia Electa. And this will hit right onto their heads. Sonjike with a dashes as well onto the side lane. Alyssa now the ball is on their court. Will they go for the kill? Yup, but the BMI is there. Tokyo won't fall down. Sonjike with a kill. Neferia goes in with a trade. That's too much of a mess. But Kyowe, out of all that has happened, will focus on to getting that Lord.
Oh, GK, I see what they were trying to do there. They were trying to just go in straight up, brute forcing their way into a 5v5, but they get caught in Guejo's Wrath of the Dryad. The Revitalize gives her just enough time for the rest of the team to follow up. Great Netherrealm to again delay the death of the frontliner, and all that time was used with the Zaman Force on. A window open right as it was gone, right as it went on cooldown, and Geltek saw the vision, went in and punished GK out of that team fight. A few desperate moves here and there as they try to recoup. Alyssa went for the flicker, trying to go in for the kill here, but Tokyo gets out just in time with the BMI. Great read as well by Sonjike, is able to provide enough heal. You can see the built-up frustration from GK. It looked so good up until it just all fell right in front of them.
And that's the thing. For Geltek, it's all about the mechanic as well and how well they will survive the incoming attacks here for GK. Lord onto the top lane.
They don't have the best of clear.
They've already managed to tore their way down. And Kyowe with a shadow kill. Almost half an HP left here for Neferia. That shields it will be enough. Tokyo immediate takedown. Guejo with a Wrath of Dryad. It might not be enough, and now they slowly make and crawl their way back onto GCT. It's 3 members down, Leowon. Okay, with the Cyclone Eye, Neferia with a chase down, Zaman Force as well. Shield is enough. She's just brute forcing her way out of this with a flicker as well. That's 5 women chasing her down, still surviving. But for GK, all that matters is that they could push back onto the turrets of GCT.
That's true. They just gotta make sure they don't stay here too long. That wave up top is looking juicy, and they call it off. It's a wave up top, gonna build up, and that's why Geltek want to stop these recalls. They want to have those minions be a threat all the way while regaining control of the map. GK, this is very scary to play with the whole wave crashing down again. They're forced to walk back to base all the way to the top wave. And it's Geltek who wanna capitalize on this. Purple buff still secured by GK, so not much was taken away by Geltek, but still, despite all that, despite a big win, 3-0 in that defense, they're only able to get a tier 1 in the mid lane, and now it's Geltek back with the map control.
Yep.
Tokyo, though, way too aggressive. I know she was trying to get that turret down, but you have to respect the damage of GK. It's just deja vu to game number 1, where Neferia started to get those items rolling on the Leslie. This time it's on the Harith. Damage dealt ranking, Neferia is very close to the rest of the team. Tokyo, Sonjike, obviously still top 2. Kyowe is just doing assassin job, right? It's all about cleaning up.
Tokyo, you might have the damage, but remember, for GK eSports, they're slowly crawling their way out. So they still have enough of skills to totally sort out on who to target. And now for GCT, we've mentioned, even if they lost on that specific takedown onto the turret, and G was able to take down a turret onto the mid lane, the good thing is that they still had the lead, and now they're forcing their way again with Guejo's Wrath of Dryad. Electo right now, half an HP left. Crucial save here for you with Netherrealm, but that's it. GCT will stake still at the risk here. They know there's no more plan B for GK eSports, but Neferia goes in with a plan A, which is to totally annihilate members here for Geltek. Now they slowly back away. That's a 1-for-1. Electa isn't having any of it. Guejo might fall down. Alyssa targeting Tokyo with a blazing duet. And she will be doing it! What a save, what a kill here. But no, Sonjike is still alive and kicking.
Neferia.
Now Neferia is left alone here onto the mid lane. Will she risk it? I think that's enough of a gameplay yet here for GK Esports. They need to relax.
They really do. I mean, at this point, they need to start brawling more and more. Live from Paris, by the way. Got a few stars in the building here watching. Shout outs to them. Very entertained already. Geltek. Back to the point, it really comes down to how they utilize the spar lane up top. They have the slow push constantly going in. They do not need to go for the fights. It's on GK to force a fight away from them. So for Geltek, it's all about playing the slow game. Yes, Alyssa's on the Paquito. She can go up top to handle the wave, but having that man advantage, hold on, Geltek. They're looking for the sneak. The Harrods up top, the expanding rivers.
Okay.
Gives him a bit of a boost, but Kyoe just... Oh, Electa!
Okay, that's crazy. Electa just again with a drive-through. Retry still, Kuwenja with another dive. Now Geltek is forced to tore them down. Making the most out of it. Tokyo with the blades into it, hitting on the right marks here for GK Esports. Neferia and Nasu has to find a way to actually defend for their base. Liuban goes in with a falling Starman. They're just buying enough time for their minion wave to slowly crawl their way onto the base of GK Esports. And this might be it. Neferia, this is the final clash of the day, or might be, because now Liuban slowly takes down the members of GK. That's a total wipeout. And Geltek yet again comes up on top. They're just waiting for the next wave of minion to actually help them finish off this round. But there is a few seconds left for GK Esports to totally reset and defend and not let GCT finish off this round onto a 2-0.
A hero play by Electa that saves the game. Geltek wanted to end. If they got a Lord, I think they would have still been able to go for that team fight with the Lord, getting all the base turrets. So at the end of the day, I think GK, that steal ended up still saving the game for them.
Okay.
Oh, they still want to just go for it. They think they're strong enough. The Furious back up though.
Okay, it's all about asserting your dominance here for Geltek. Yuban already committed the falling stars for the next few seconds. GK Esports
Taunted.
actually has the chance to somehow just come down onto the map, clear off the last bit of minion wave that Geltek has managed to sort their way through. And with that, 16 minutes into the game, still it's not yet the end here for GK Esports.
Nope. It isn't the end. They still have a shot. It's 3 base turrets down, which makes it incredibly difficult to come back. But I think these girls have shown how tenacious they can be. What a steal by Electa! No one checked the bush. No one Kumar'd. You sometimes need to Kumar, you know? He's got to check the bush.
And with the backsha.
Yeah, oh, that's true. But okay, that's true. The box is the one waiting in the bush, though, this time.
Yep.
It's not the one checking the bush.
Okay. But for GE Esports, that is somewhat of a breakthrough, actually. It was quite refreshing to see Electa go in with a big highlight play, the most crucial highlight play against Geltek Esports. If they didn't get that Lord, that might have been the end of it. But now for Geltek Esports, now they check each and every bush. That's a very expensive lesson to learn. And Liubon as well has to be really careful onto committing the falling star. Even though it's kind of a low cooldown, but still, a few seconds may be what GK Esports needs to actually come back from this deficit.
Yeah, they had a shot earlier. They tried to send the Harith up top instead of the Paquito. I feel like this is a mistake that we're seeing again. GK's got to send Alyssa up top to deal with the wave. This is an evolved Lord.
Yep.
If Geltek learn from their mistakes, if they go and send some of those members into bushes, which they have done, Kuwait just holding the angle. Liuban as well. There's no way for Electa to get a free steal again, and she's caught all alone. Isolated down below.
Oh, even committing Wrath of Giant onto Electa alone. Okay, there's going to be the glorious pathway here, copied as well. And the original one, there's going to be an intersection created here. Tokyo with a blazing to it. Neferia going low, even with the Zaman Force. What can they do? There's going to be the shadow kill as well. Layered properly here for Geltek Esports. GK with a free unstoppable kill. Way onto the front. Electa will fall down. Liuban just massacring everyone on their path here for GK Esports. Yue trying to run for her life, but it's Geltek yet again with a minion wave helping them. They want to actually end this game, and they just did. That's a 2-0 yet again for a second match.
GG, well played. Geltek Cyber Team and their in-game adaptations, just learning from every single mistake and coming back from it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It didn't happen twice. It happened once. Electa held a bush. No one was holding it. Second time around, they had both frontliners holding these crucial bushes, not giving Electa a single opening to make it to the Lord Pit, to get a possible 50-50 trade. And it was just well played.